we got ourselves another replay, and I was not prepared for this map. What is this map even called? I mean, it shows in the replay viewer, but I just blank it out. I didn't even pay attention. Is this Crags and Crows, or whatever this thing is called? I think this is Asgard as a base, I believe, but just rezoned. I think that came around. You know, the update with all the new maps and stuff. Before the first DLC, before the Dutch DLC. I want to say that was at the end of 2015. 2015? Yeah, something like that. Maybe around the Scandi DLC, before, be after. I don't know. Still, I played like once or twice on this map. I think you can do as much as you want with zone layouts. It's always gonna be a bit tricky to get an actual good map out of this. Well, good is of course relative, right? And you know, depends on your opinion and whatnot, but like a huge amount of towns, like a huge town, bunch of mountainous areas, usually, in my eyes at least, don't lead to the greatest gameplay when it comes to, again, quote unquote normal games. When we're talking about 10v10s, it's a different story. Now, I don't think this is a tactical game, and I believe, yes, this is the player who sent this in. What do we even have here? We are gonna watch this at 2x or something. I'm not gonna sit here for 40 minutes while we have another mini heatwave here. So, what do we even have? Like, what's even going on in this map here? Okay, blue 4 has an easier time to this secondary spawn, red 4 to this secondary spawn. That's basically it. I'm not even sure how good these spawns are, honestly. Like, sure, I guess if you were to lose your foothold into Juliet, it might be like you have no cover coming out of this, right? You're just driving across the open. Same with this spawn. And like, look at the distances, right? You're not even that much closer to this area. Right, sure, you come from this side as opposed to that side, but when you're coming from here, you have like this bit of cover here, right? And if you control this tunnel or this bush, right, you have something to work towards. But if you're going across here, it's just open area here, and from the other side, it's also just open. Who made this map? The only thing that I can think of, and you know, if that's the intention, then maybe that's fair enough, is if the other side gets to spawn. Which honestly, I guess now that said that out loud, is maybe actually the more interesting part, right? You basically have to hold this not necessarily because it gives you a spawn, but because you don't want the opponent to have that spawn. So, you know what? That is fair enough. That is actually fair enough. Then again, whether that was actually the intention of whoever designed this map, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna bet on that. But it looks like Blue 4 is going for both spawns. And honestly, if you're going for airborne CVs, you're not that much further away. You're still a good bit further, but depending on how fast the helicopter is, yeah. I would have here Tomcats. Obviously, no 10v10 is proper without Tomcats. Tiger at this point should have engaged. Well, maybe not. You know, maybe not. That MI-24 was on attack move, which is what you should almost never do with attack anti-air helicopters, because as you saw, it was in range, started firing, and then just stopped. Right, and then only started moving again when it was out of range. K-52 traded for a Tiger. Tomcats died. They were bunched up, and I'm pretty sure took splash damage. Is this neutralized? No, it's just not capped yet. Oh, this is actually more interesting. I know we're supposed to focus on this player, but this is a more interesting one. Stop your C. Okay, spawn. Nobody's spawning anything. This is elite. Maybe some Grus or something. That's yeah, I was about to say book and one. It's not even an anti-helicopter piece, it's just a anti-plane piece. Okay, P5 coming. Oh boy. Well, do we have any anti-air here? We have manpads here. One Roland. We just don't want to buy AA. Oh boy. It's b5. Oh, it's not gonna hit anything, is it? It got these two or these 6 squads. It got junk, but could have been much worse. Still, the Formosa will. There's Navy SEALs here. This is why I don't like town fights. This has been neutralized by Red 4. This hasn't, but there's very little follow-up. We have I mean, it's kind of arguably damned if you don't situation. On the one hand, if you're pushing there, you want to have some ground follow-up in case you do not end up getting the spawn or it's counter-capped. But since it's been capped the entire time, it would have been much better if you'd be able to spawn these units immediately here and like push into their sides. What do you even have here? Mistrals and just bunch of infantry. Okay. It is tough keeping up with everything going on here. We have an M1 mod up top against 2 bases. 2 A5 down here. The knights are coming in. Bases are not in range just yet. Why does the good stuff have to happen on 2 completely different sides of the map? And the CV is probably somewhere there. Was there a third helicopter with a K-52 and the Mi-24V? I don't remember. CV is probably somewhere there. I mean, it has to be in at some of these bushes there. Those are the 85 2As. Oh, at this distance, they do hurt. And the 205 cannot one-shot them. Yep. 85 2As, M84As. Yeah, this is... You gotta be careful. Don't disrespectful of armor. Okay, there's 2 tanks there, my guy. You just mismicroed your 205 against helicopters that you... sorry, tanks that you knew were there. One of the Recavas died. I mean, I know I didn't notice that, but there's just too much stuff going on. I presume a combination of the M1 mod, which also died, and whatever is in there in terms of infantry. There's Conqueror's M's in there. They do hit quite hard, even against 21 armor. The Mi4 died there. I also missed that because I was too busy looking for the bases. It didn't? Hold on. I guess we can just check. It actually did land here. That is crazy. I presume those... Okay, they have no long range AA. Dat is not bad. But I think we just briefly saw that the CV is here, yeah. We have any artillery, actually. I'm surprised to see no artillery from 2-4. Red 4 has some. I've seen some MLRS coming in. I think. Am I blind? But it was 4 of... Oh, there we go. Iraq 91. Yeah, they have Eurogun. And if it base T6... Oh, it's going for spawning from here to go there. Okay. 5-2A just shooting. We have no ATGM infantry in here. That's... We have 1 squad back there and another one coming in. Honestly, just reposition this in the tower. Oh, it actually hits. Can we go 2 for 2? Ooh, we can. Scratchet is lighting up that. This is being pinged for some reason. IES. The incoming stuff. What's going on up top? Ooh, they're getting pushed out. Well, I mean, pushed out is relative. They just don't have a town to work with. Basically, kind of a mirror of this side, really, if you think about it. Oh, the CP died. Oh, okay, that is bad. Did the VAP just kill a T-62? No, that was a BRDM2. I was about to say, they don't have like the highest amount of armor, but surely a 20mm autocannon is not gonna be able to kill a T-62 at max range, side armor or not. I would just never want to play in here, man. This just seems like, for lack of a better term, just cancer. Like, that is not fun. In like a smaller scale game, maybe, because then it probably feels like you're actually making progress when you're like, alright, I'm going up against basically 1 player. So it's much easier to keep tabs on how much I'm killing, how much I'm losing, how the entire engagement is going. But when there's just so many players involved, it's just a clusterfuck, man. And you know what? If you like that, it's fair, but to me, that's just... I prefer other clusterfucks in this game. Oh, Bass has to be careful. There's no idea. There's an empty spike here. Wrong guy. No enemy in Juliet clear. No, okay. Nice. Still, like, it shouldn't be that difficult to push the opponent out. This is your Komodo. Still have Amex. Amex 10s would be nice. Okay, it's a class Mirage. I'm not sure if that's the best call here, but... Come on up top. Are you even killing anything? Is there even still anything in there? No, I think all the 85 2As are dead. They're gone. They got all pushed out. One Bass is still alive. Macbeth is still alive, but more or less it. The Rangers are way too deep in the forest and can barely spot anything. It looks really cool though, this ridge with the forest, I'll be honest, man. That kind of looks sick. Too bad it's nightmare to push there with the vehicles, but it does look sick. It's honestly insane how this is still not pushed out. This shouldn't be that difficult. You just, every now and then you just gotta keep probing with some stuff. You have some empty vamps here. Just probe. Move up the Commando Spira at the edge here to spot better into these bushes when they're trying to fire back. Like Tiger just killed a BMP2. There's not much stuff left. You gotta probe more. You're Moto, so you don't have like 5-pointers. But like you still have some vamps around every now and then. Push up with some recon. Gotta, and like look, even the Tiger, right? It has exceptional optics, barely spotted anything. There shouldn't be a lot of vehicles left for you to worry. Way too scary. I mean, admittedly, obviously, the spawn isn't very valuable. But from one, you're gonna get income, but two, just in case your Fufu somehow gets sniped, if you're in possession of Alpha, it also means that your opponent doesn't suddenly get a secondary spawn for a period of time. Right? Oh, what did you just kill there? Gepard, ooh. Oh yeah, we'd have Chasseur with Vaps. Yeah, just send them in, man. Don't be so scared. It's just 10-20 points. Like, even your Legion have, like, range onto this, right? If suddenly there's a vehicle that is spotted that shoots at your stuff, they can shoot at this. Also, like, once this is cleared, you have... Finally. Once this is clear, you also can, you know, put Recon into these bushes, so you get much better taps on when your opponent might try to push back in, and you can focus on other sides of the map and help out your team. And you're finally... But you see that, right? 2 maps is basically all that was needed. I mean, at the end of the day, right, it's better late than never. You know, I'm not trying to trash talk the player, but just like... Try to keep in mind how much you've killed, how the engagement has been going over the past minutes, right? And just gauge whether, you know, how the power difference between what your units and their units is, right? You lost roughly 100 points and killed roughly 500 points, right? Chances are there's not much left there. Of course, you still gotta pay attention, okay, how many players have there been? You know, much easier, of course, when they're different decks, but when they're all playing Soviets, for example, it can be tough sometimes. But now, especially now, just move up the Recon at the edge. You cannot spot down here currently. And it's just a huge open field. By having Recon at this bush, having Recon there, maybe one there. It doesn't have to be Recon infantry necessarily, right? To spot across the open, just good optics, like an AMX 10 or something is enough. Medium optics even to an extent. Put stuff there. And if you have stuff there, you have, especially with the spawn here, you should have more than enough time to react to a reasonable push. Of course, if 2 players go all in with 15 minutes worth of income, whatever you have banged up is probably not going to be enough, but at that point, you should hopefully win on the other side of the map, or if you don't, then the game is already over anyway. That's also a thing. You have lots of infantry here, just reposition it. It's gonna take a while if you use some transports to probe, of course, but do it. Especially recon infantry. Just push up with it, bush to bush, until you start spotting stuff, or it's just the next push is just too far away. +5. See, there's stuff there. You gotta find this stuff out. This is why you gotta push up with your infantry. Or like your recon infantry, ideally. Or just send vabs, empty vabs that you might not need there. Worst player might just be doing that, right? They were resupplying stuff, waiting to be full HP. Yeah, there you go. So. Or maybe they were hearing me. I was talking to them from the future. I've been completely missing what's been going on the rest of the map. This is still gone. The bass die or reposition? Probably dead. If Mark 2, oh, 3Bs. Okay, I was about to say 2Bs aren't too great. 3Bs sitting here on flank duty, that is not where you want to use your heavy tanks. If you don't plan on pushing, don't put it there, right? Just send like a recon infantry here. What are they gonna do, right? They're gonna need forever to get from here, from hotel to your spawn here. It would be a huge waste of resources and time for them to try that, and if they do, it should be easy picking. Put like a recon squad here, and maybe if you want to be extra careful, like an anti-jam squad and like exactly like a ranger squad or something. They have a decent AT, right? Ooh, one of the 105s died. Did they kill another 85-2A in return? Did they really just lose 1v2 with one of the 85-2As getting out alive? That's unlucky. I'll be honest, Red for doing great progress on the rest of the map. Pushing into Lima. Having most of Gulf and pushing Lufer out of Charlie as well. Doing the shenanigans, I mentioned Lima already. It's not bad at all. The KD is almost dead even though. Most have been killed here. Bab's almost out of ammo. Honestly, wheeled autocannons can just get you so much value over the course of the game. Or they do nothing. It's like no in between. That's just how Vabs are, it feels like. Ikla shooting at Chinooks. Chinooks honestly are a good way to, you know, Putin-like to do that. You just mass up a few Chinooks and then you send them in to just sponge a lot of missiles. Doesn't work so much against certain specs that have like no salvos, like infinite salvos and lots of ammo, but against missile systems that can do wonders. Especially if they rely on Rolands against helicopters as well, because they have to reload after every 2 missiles. And 10 seconds is a lot of time. Plus they have to hit twice in a row as well. Okay, that is... May I critique your deck? Why do you need Brennos and 1A5? The Brennos realistically doesn't offer much more. You gotta keep in mind, in case any of you don't know, the AMX line cannot fire their autocannon and main gun at the same time. It's one or the other, no matter what. It's unfortunately not like the Kyla, not like the Moderna, not like a BMP. Actually, BMPT is kind of the same if you think about it, because HE main gun and autocannon also cannot fire at the same time. But yeah, they cannot fire at the same time. So the only time where this is actually useful is on the CV, where it can defend itself better against helicopters. On your main tanks, just spam 1A5s. And use your extra AP elsewhere, honestly. It's not worth it. Or use a second card of 1A5s. I think it's also just a better tank. Yes, you lose 1 armor, but you get an extra RPM, which is really nice. Stabilizer can be quite nice too. And the autocannon, even against helicopters, it's just not worth it. 1 armor is nice, 5 kph. Honestly, between 1 armor and 5 kph, I might almost prefer the kph. Almost. But the RPM and the stabilizer are just very nice to have. Especially when you're already playing a moto deck and you try to be relatively mobile. This is not a tank you want to use unless you're using it against like IVs or something. This is not a tank you want to use at like max distance defensively, right? You want to close the distance and make use of your RPM and kinetic scaling. Or like when a tank is trying to run, like really run away, you can fast move down and keep shooting. Thanos can't do that. What is this push gonna be though? Enemy team is leading by 400 points. It's not a lot, but it's something. The problem is when that escalates to if once that becomes a, what's the word, once you break through that first barrier, it just starts rolling, right? Like an avalanche. The 400 suddenly escalates to 4,000, so to speak. But also the opposite can happen. They overpushed here and lost a lot of points. Now it's almost even up again. It's destruction for you. Just killed something with the 5F. I think the A-class squad. Stuff is almost out of ammo. Sorry, fuel. We're going the entire distance almost here. Oh, hold on. They spotted this for so long. Then nobody's reacting. Except, no, they're just going forward. Nobody's reacting to this. Nobody's reacting to this. Why? I have absolutely no, what's the word? I do not feel bad at all for Red 4. Oh, the A10. Oh, yes. Okay, that is sick, man. Honestly, is there anything better than waltzing into the spawn of your opponents with tanks and shooting and killing the artillery with tanks and such? A counter battery and sneaking around with infantry and killing it that way. Sure, that's all fine and dandy, but killing artillery with tanks is just, I don't think there's a better way to kill tanks. Sorry, with artillery. The only thing I could think of is if you manage to roll up with your own artillery and use their direct fire. Right, like if a mists are rolled up with direct fire and shot in artillery to death with that. That's the only thing that would be better. But that was actually a crazy, holy. I was gonna say a crazy turnaround, but they're only ahead by 400 points and killed like 600 points worth of artillery here. Okay, Lima got absolutely fucked. That would explain it. Dab's flying in. Dab's actually managed to fly by autocannon. Now they have fixed guns without a turret. So they tend to be really awful at that. They technically have literally have stabilizers, but the angle has to be just right for them to fire and actually hit. Hit by 300 points now. What's Emilian gonna kill? 15 points? That was a BRDM2, I think. I mean, look how light blue is here. I mean, yeah, look at this. It's all full of infantry here. Holy smokes. Jesus Christ. I mean, you wouldn't think it, but somehow blue is slightly in the lead by having so much less on the field. I mean, red, I'm pretty sure, had a significantly higher income across the game, and blue presumably also has more points in planes as well, right? So that would explain some of the discrepancy here. The rocket pop lane. We saw it was like a CV somewhere there chilling, right? Yeah, that's really funny. Nice snipe. The counter push here though. Oh, the Nimrod with the all from the side killing the mod. That's already Pape, I believe it was. Kernas kills the BM. They need like they literally need a 1,000 point lead for it to be a win. So, assuming they get to 10,000 first, they can't let Red 4 get to 9,000. Basically. Either 9,000 or 9,000 like 100 or something. Or 9,099 or something. I'm not sure if it's like 10%. I say this every time. I'm not sure if it's 10% of the winning team, i.e., 0.9 times whatever the winner has, or if the winning team has to have at least 1.1 times of what the loser has. You know? I always forget about that. I think it's from the winner, but ooh, that's 145 points gone. It's probably gonna be a draw. Unless Blue can basically manage to not lose a single unit now. More or less. Oh, I assume this is not gonna be a draw. entire minute until 400 points are killed. Yeah, this has to be drawn out, but damn, dude. That was a sick flank. That was actually a sick flank. It was worth like easily 700 points. Huh? 700 points. Probably more. You gotta think of the ripple effect as well of them having to invest in defending stuff and whatnot, right? But yeah, look at this. Man, killing artillery with tanks. Vulcan H. Was it actually? Hold on. Nah, that's fake. I'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure he hasn't touched. Mostly hasn't touched Wargame since like Warno. Somebody just messing around. But I mean, yeah, that was a 6 flank. I'm actually hold on. I want to look at the deck. I'm curious. Of course, 10v10 decks are quite a bit different. Yeah, I got a Control F was the. I'm looking for it, but I can't see the highlight because the file. The hold on. Okay, I found it. The deck is called Legion 90. Okay, fair enough. That is probably honestly the best infantry squad that Eurocore has. And honestly, top 5 might be a stretch, but top 10 infantry in the game for sure. The squad is insane. No, I don't know if this is built for 10v10 or a general deck just used in 10v10. I don't know. I assume it's built for 10v10 given the updated Mirage F1 CT. Maybe it's even meant for tacticals. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me given how almost everything is updated. Because of Marines. I mean, a car of Mega 90 is still nice because if you want some elite infantry to sneak around with good AT, I think it's worth using them. Like one of each. And then maybe even like mix them around. They're better for sneaking around against like light armor stuff or maybe even in tacticals because of the HP. Just allows you to keep them alive a lot more. Generally, actually, also better for just longer engagements. Obviously, worse against high armor targets because they have much less AP. But I think it's worth to run one card of Mega 90 and one card of Commander Marines and just mix them. Each 90, of course, this is for spam. Yep. Seems fine. Yeah, honestly, you don't need anything except this. Wait, hold on. Let me double check. Nah, you're not using any AMX 10s? Nah. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put this guy in. Alright. Here, you're gonna remove the Luxay one, man. You're gonna remove the Luxay one, put this guy in. Yes, they have no stabilizer, but they're still amazing. These guys, put them in the VAB. Put them in the VAB. Or, I mean, you have no T20 left. If you had a T20 left, put them in that, but put them in the VAB. This has no armor, much worse off-road speed. If that's much easier to get caught out, and when it gets caught out and shot at, your squad is dead. This, depending on what's shooting at it, has a chance to survive for an extra second or two in terms of autocannons. And it has much better off-road speed and much lower speed penalty in forests, not shown on the unit card. So going through forests is much easier. It's worth the 5 points, even in tacticals. Only if you're running 2 cars of them in ground transports and maybe one in the VLRA, if at some point you really need to save those 5 points, sure. But if you don't honestly pay the 5 points, it's worth it. Only for like BGS or something where the base cost is so low that 5 points is relatively speaking pretty high, then I could see it. 4 points left. Now you could put in something like a Psyop is insanely good. Marta VTS1 is honestly not horrible. Your Jaguar 2, the Sagaya you don't really need. Honestly, what you could do is you could get rid of this and then put in another plane, right? Peace Run is good. doesn't have survivability, like the survivability of like a high-end anti-tank plane. It doesn't have the kill power, but it's 100 points, it's multi-role, and even it's hardened. It's actually pretty solid. That is my advice, if you care for it. Obviously, you don't have to do anything that I tell you to. Right, it worked out, obviously. Well, maybe you would have actually won had you used those. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What I'm not kidding about is Wargame, though. Okay. We got ourselves bad or medium optics with a better autonomy, worse speed, lower price, and older. Really good autonomy is interesting. Could just be. Oh, actually. It's French, Danish, or Dutch. Autonomy but lower speed is interesting. I'm thinking the support tab. What about the AMX? We have 2 weapons max, actually. Two weapons max is interesting. What about something like, do you have 10 HP even? You don't. It's Dutch and then the support tab, and it's even older. And it is bad optics. Are there things called AMXs? Uh, this is an artillery piece. I don't know if it has an MG. It doesn't. Oh, is it M106? Or M107? My god, I love that artillery unit. It's again in one of those coalitions. It's very good autonomy. Loose. Is it like no? It could be a VLRA. No, the base VLRA doesn't have the 500 or like a million kilometer autonomy. Only the Mistral variant has, I believe. It's also small. And could be like. No, they all have 500 kilometers autonomy. All those things. What if it's like a M201 106 millimeter? It's French and in the vehicle tab. There you go. Okay. Optics, autonomy, speed. HE bomb or rocket pod. Price 160. Weapon 3, surface to Amazon. Okay. I know the intruder has those. I think he has 1 or 2 more bombers it might do, but I don't remember. I think this one of the Skyhawks or something. Let's see. The intruder doesn't fit in either of those, so let's use it here. It should have medium as or good air section. Rocket pod with really good autonomy. Lynxes? Do the Lynxes have really good autonomy? Oh, they don't. Really slow. MI8s have 250. They both snap. Is it 260 kmh? You should probably use the MF. No, the MF4 is 5. It should have an MG in slot 1. Ooh, this is not so easy. Hmm. Does the BOV count? Oh, it does. Let's go. Price. Oh, I could have used the Fiat maybe here. Gosh darn it. Okay, exactly 160 points. Go for block 52. Exactly 160 points and good autonomy. Is there 160 points T72? We have the Moderna, that's 165. Mod should be. Is it 160? It is. Oh, thank goodness. 160 and lower speed. T80U is 150. HC Abrams is 155. Oh, that's not that easy. Even the most expensive artillery is sort of like 140, no? Like the Smirches, the Attackams, they're 140 or 150. The longbow is too fast. There's also, I think, only 150. Hold on, there's gotta be one more tank that's 160. Right? Ariete? No, they're all like 155. CV. T72. The MCVs. There you go. That could be the Tiger. Has not that good optics. Okay, a 52 autonomy. I think the DAP has really good autonomy. No, yeah. Erikois. Piras. Yep. Oh, I was thinking of the Panther as well. Then weird of. Oh, this has exactly 160. 685. The Hogs. I always forget about the Hogs. Roivalk, right. Check command MMG. Nice. SPW50 PU. Okay, command MMG. Abrams HC. Abrams command. Let's just go for the T72 again. We're not looking at the MMG anymore. Go the M1D again. They have the exact same. This one. Czechoslovakia and really old. The Avias, maybe? Probably not. OT62s. Nope. Oh, the 5-pointer for the reservists. MMG. Okay, that's just Buffalo. Nope, never mind. Czechoslovakia. That's just like an MI 17 command. Bell? MMG in slot 2 on a helicopter. On a helicopter? What? Is there like something that has the rocket ball in slot 1 and like the M3 in slot 2, maybe? MMG slot 2. There's no ground unit that's fast, so it has to be a helicopter. It's probably like either an Mi-2 or like one of the Italian helicopters, maybe. Oh, the DAB has the miniguns. Oh, hold on. No, yeah, the miniguns count as MMGs. That's fucked. And this one has quad peak. I was right with MMGs. The Avia. Waka Waka. Or the Mi-4. And Moderna is 160. Well, Buffalo is 50. It's too old. Fuck, LVT. No, okay. Well, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.